Are we ready? Let's do this.
I've left off.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me and Fred. Fred's just nipped in because he's watching his painter setting up, so he came in for a chat. So, you know, you're used to him, so it's Fred.
Hi there.
Yeah. As you can see, palm trees on the desk. Guess what Mel's doing tonight? A bit more of the Burma build. So, yeah, we're cracking on with the palm trees and that sort of stuff. Mel got him an AC unit yet? No, not yet. I'm a little bit sweaty in here. It's a bit warm in here, but it's so much cooler. Have you noticed how the corridors have come alive as well? Everyone's come in.
Yes, more people in today, yes.
Yeah, the studios have been dead for the past couple of weeks, haven't they?
Yeah, they go very quiet when it's cold and very quiet when it's hot.
Yeah,
yes.
But it's cooled down, and I walked in and the corridor was just full of people, you know, milling between studios and that sort of stuff. Now we've got a fair few here. 40 already. Hello, folks. Yes, commiserations. We'll say no more on that. It was coming home. We never said when it was coming home. Right, I see absolutely loads of people. As always, if you got any terrain questions or anything like that, throw them in the comments. We've not got the doc on this show because I'm working, so I won't be checking the doc. Also, links down below to obviously the tips, the Patreon, and all that sort of stuff if you like the stream. I've got one already. I think that's Tim, so I'll do that in a second, but we'll let things get scrolling. I know there's a few like me into model railways, just wondering if any of you guys go to Milton Keynes for the Great Electric Train Show in October. Gary, can you send me the link for that, please? I'd like to go to that.
Be interesting, yeah.
I've never been to a proper railroad show.
Neither do I. No, I used to have a really nice set when I was a kid, when I was a teenager.
I had one. My dad built me one in the attic when I was a kid, and that was my first introduction to terrain.
Yes.
Yeah, because it had like this paper mache tunnel.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved that tunnel. Wasn't really bothered with the train set, but I loved that tunnel. Yeah. Jamie's asking Fredicus, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm working hard.
Yeah, soldiering on as usual. Yeah. Remember 10k party at Mel's house? You mean 100k party at Mel's house at Cat? Yes, thank you guys. I hit 90,000 subscribers today.
Congrats. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Nice one.
It's quite.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's. The number sort of drifts away. You don't sort of follow it. I used to when I first started. How many subs have I got? And then it's like you get used to it. Just it takes along.
You count every new one, don't you?
Yeah, and it's got to the stage now that you start looking at the milestones, and it's like 90,000 is like the next milestone, which should be probably in about 4 months' time. Yeah, will be 100,000, which is quite a scary number for a bloke in a little studio with some toys.
That's really good outreach.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll have the bloody council round for bloody photos and everything, knowing them lot. Yeah. So yes, palm trees are the order of tonight. Yeah. If you'd like a quick nose at what I'm doing, that's what they're looking like right now. Yeah. You never get decent light on this one. I have to play around with the settings, but they're looking quite nice.
Yeah, looking brilliant. Much better than the basic standard ones that you got.
Yeah, the initial plastic ones. Yeah, massive.
Before and after.
So, hopefully, they're going to come together really nice tonight. I want to get them painted up tonight because I want to be in tomorrow and basing them and that sort of stuff so I can do it. That sounds like Thanksgiving party.
A few weeks before that. Yeah.
Just got too excited about thinking about Kez's face when you told her you invited us all over to the house. You see, Kez would be fine with it. Kez would just go, I'm going away for the weekend. Go. And she'd just leave me to deal with it all. And as long as the house was still standing when she got back, everything would be fine. So once you've done palm trees, are you going to do cacti and underground subway stations? Oh, Anthony. Hey, Jace, how you doing, buddy? Hi, Jace.
Hi, Jason.
Yeah, watch it. After I do the palm trees, I've been chatting with Kai downstairs. Yeah, Kai's laser cutting me up some boxes. Yeah, terrain-based boxes for my Burma build. So, more than likely, after I've done this, next big job on the Burma build is I'm going to be doing a board because I want to play.
That'll be really interesting to do a Burma build board because you're going to have a really interesting terrain for that.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, the plan is by the time it's finished, the board will be 16 foot by 18 foot.
Wow.
Sorry, 6 foot by 18 foot. So 6 foot wide and then 18 foot long and deep.
Yeah. 3x1, 3-to-1.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll have everything going up from the beach landings with the resin and the ocean work we're doing.
Oh, right. Yeah. The 8 holes and things.
Yeah, exactly. Into the jungle and then through to a village.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, with obviously all the swamps and the rich streams and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the battle plan.
Yeah. Sand in those parts is like almost white. Not like here, it's like a brownish shallow colour. In the tropics, tends to be like very, very pale.
We're going to have to do a lot of research. We may have to raise some funds for a field trip. Kez would kill me if you did that. She would have. I'm going to Burma. What? The lads are paid. The terrainiacs are paid for me to go and study palm trees in Burma. She'd kill me. They've only paid for me to go study. Oh, she is the ecologist.
Yes. It's interesting that you got the correct trees for the Burma build.
Yeah. Turns out, get this. Yeah. When I ordered these trees, as you can see, they're cheap, horrible plastic, palm trees from China. Now, when they turned up, I looked down and went, they don't look like any bloody palms I've ever seen. But I went with them because I'd ordered them. And we're slowly working on them. And I was looking at colours for palm tree leaves, specifically how they dry, and that sort of stuff. And I saw one of these in Google Images. Yeah. Actually, one of these. So I went and had a look at it. And this is called an Indian palm. Yeah. And believe it or not, it is native to the northwest of India and Burma. I couldn't have picked better. These are specifically the right palm trees for Burma. Yeah, and it turns out that their other name is the toddy tree because their sap, their bark secrete a really sugary sap that's used for making hot toddies, an alcoholic drink. And that's where hot toddies come from. So, completely by chance, I managed to get the perfect palm trees for my Burma build.
Yeah, you couldn't have.
I couldn't.
If you'd done months of research, you couldn't have got it.
No, I probably wouldn't have nailed it because I've been looking for information on trees and stuff for Burma, but I would never have nailed it. No. But it's just pure by chance. Yeah, it's meant to happen, isn't it?
You have those tall grasses, don't they? Like pampas grass, if we're there.
Right, Sunday the 14th of October. Right, let me put that into my, Is that Gary now? Yeah, Gary sent it. Yeah, I've got it on Facebook, Gary. Thanks for that, buddy.
Was that the railway?
Expo,
yeah. Oh, wow.
I genuinely want to go and have a nose at that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, yeah. We'd probably pick up some useful tips as well from the railway builds.
Yeah, there's always crossover, but it's always nice to see different applications, and also it's different suppliers of materials.
That too, yeah.
So we'll give that a go.
Good networking opportunity.
And thanks for the welcome back, folks. Much appreciated. You need to get yourself down the studio, Jace. You'll have to catwalk above it. Hey, what? 100k celebrations in Burma. That would be cool. Hey, Tim, thank you. Yes. Maybe a croupier stick. I have no idea what they're talking about. Advance tickets for the Great Electric Train Show are £9, £7 for children, but if you pay on the door, 12 did it. Holders get in 30 minutes in advance. Right, no worries. I can get that sorted. So, off to a railway show. That should be fun.
Since I've seen anything like that, very, very long time.
I've never been to one, in all honesty.
I've never been to a show, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's going to be interesting, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Now, with regards to the battle plan for tonight, Kez is technically working till 8 a.m. Yeah, it depends if it rains.
Oh, do you need a lift? Can I offer you a lift?
Oh, would you mind?
No problems.
Oh, go on then, Fred.
No problems,
yeah. I'll take it. It's either that or I've got a bike home in the dark, in the rain.
It's a bit rainy tonight, yeah. It was beginning to rain when I was coming in, yeah.
The thing is, I've got no lights or reflectors on the bike, and so I've been reluctant to bike at night.
There's no problem. We can put it in the back.
A table out of all the 2x2 pieces, playing on your whole Burma build. You would need croupier sticks. No, the reason I'm going for 6 foot wide is maximum reach most people have on a gaming table is 3 foot.
Yeah.
So if you go 6 foot wide, you should be able to reach the centre of the table. So theoretically, it's playable.
Yeah.
Once you go over 6 foot, you get this sort of mid-region where it becomes really difficult. Yeah, perhaps you could really stretch and reach something, but you can't properly measure or look.
Right.
Yeah, so 6 foot is easily wide enough. Now, the idea was that 6 foot wide is 3 2-foot tiles, and then 18 foot back is 9 of them. So we're looking at 18, 27 tiles in total to build, 27 2x2 tiles. But river systems, beaches, oceans, and that sort of stuff. I want to take it to Salute. Yeah, Dave Marshall at Salute. He takes his table, so he's another terrain builder.
Yeah.
And he wins year after year best table.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm always giving him shit over it, telling him, I'm going to bring a table, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to bring a table and I'm going to beat you. Yeah, Dave's a good mate of mine. Yeah, and I'm always giving him grief over it. Like, he didn't win this year. His mate won because he brought an amazing table. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, 54 mil table. Yeah, you don't see those very often. They're very rare.
Yeah, I did a few bit of 54 mil model when I was.
Yeah. Well, it's a proper old school.
Yeah.
Not getting into scales. We'll leave that there, eh? Yeah, but what do you call it? So he didn't win last year, and I was taking the piss out of him.
Yeah.
And what do you call it? I sort of turned around. I'm going to be my Burma build. I'm going to knock you off, mate. So I turn around to Warlord. I'm like, if I do a big Burma build, will you take it to Salute for me? And Warlord's like, yeah, we'll take it to Salute for you, Mel. So yeah, that's the battle plan. 18 foot by 6 foot.
So when is that, Mel?
Salute is next April.
Oh, so you got till next April.
Yeah, I won't have it all done by Salute because I mean it's my personal project, so I can't commit full time to it because I've got other stuff I need to do and that sort of stuff. But I imagine by the time Salute comes around, I might take a taster table. You know, something like an 8 foot by 4 foot or something like that. Just something what I've got. No worries, but it keeps flying around my house. Something's not right. Oh, I won't worry about it, Jamie. They fly around my estate all the time. It's like a permanent, what do you call it, police presence over my estate. Then again, it's Bentley, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we live next door to Hanley Park, and some nights it's like LA because you get the choppers over Hanley Park with the searchlights.
Yeah, they get a lot of trouble in Hanley Park, though, don't they?
They have searchlights playing on it. It's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's like being downtown LA.
I thought you left all that behind when you came back, didn't you?
I know. I thought that too.
Well, you haven't had any drive-by shootings with bullets coming through your house, have you?
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, Fred's actually been involved in a drive-by shooting, passively. Bullets came flying through his house. Well, where was that? LA?
It was Evanston in Illinois.
In Illinois?
Yes, yeah. It was very Illinoising.
Very Illinoising. I imagine bullets coming through your house, you know.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, we were in a cavity wall building. If we'd been in a wooden building, I wouldn't be here today. A cavity wall building, and the bullets have gone through the outer wall brick, but then ricocheted down.
Yeah, so they ricocheted in the cavity rather than going straight through.
I know that because the police were there next day trying to dig them out of the wall, and they couldn't find them because they'd gone down the wall.
Right, got you.
Down the wall, yeah.
Got you. It's Stoke. It's full of chavs. Stoke is the most working class city in the country, officially. Yeah, we have more working. Yeah, and it makes sense if you look at the industry and what's around.
Big industrial heritage, that's true.
Yeah, also none of the fine finance, none of the old infrastructure that you normally get with cities. If you think about it, so it's tilted towards the old industry and not the old high end.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to any other of the major cities, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, they've got the trading quarters, they've got the banking, the finance sectors.
Right.
Stoke hasn't got that. All we had was the heavy industry.
When I was a little boy, because I've got relatives in Manchester, I used to go there when I was a little boy quite regularly, and I can distinctly remember Manchester in the late 1950s, when I would have been about 6 or 7 years of age, and Manchester town centre was filled full of men with bowler hats, attaché cases, and black suits. Just like you get in the city of London now. Yeah. Still, but you wouldn't think Manchester was ever like that. But
no, it was. I mean,
50 years ago, it was like that.
It was like comments. Jamie's asking when am I going to stop doing the Thursday show? What, this Thursday show or the Thursday show in general? I don't think I'm ever going to stop doing the Thursday show in general. We might reschedule it to a different day or something like that. At the minute, it's okay. I mean, we were considering stopping it because of Kez's work and that sort of stuff, but we seem to be doing all right. You know, you guys don't mind me occasionally being at home for a show, you know, if I've got to look after the kids. So I don't think we need to stop the show. So I'd rather not do it. Yeah. Obviously, if Kerry's job changes too much and now, you know, I'm never in the studio on a Thursday, then we might have to consider it. But we should be fine, mate, to be perfectly honest. So I wouldn't worry about it. Fred would be 5 or 66, and Mel would be about 577. What? I have no idea. This is what happens when you catch half a comment. Oh, my paint's cracking, you git. I'll have to touch it up, airbrush it.
In this weather, strange things can happen to paint as well.
Yeah. So strange things happens to plastic in this weather, and that affects the paint.
Anything organic, yeah, absolutely, yes.
It dries out, and
Yeah. It's been very hot, very dry. Actually, unusually dry for this country. I've got a thing that measures the humidity in my room, and it's been down to the low 40s, which is quite low.
Yeah. Good to see you're not selling yourself short, Mel. As someone low self-esteem, hearing you put your skills down, not masterclass, kind of sucks. And I just look. I've never put myself high. I've never put myself low. I just give it a go. You know what I mean? And I share what I know. A lot of people put me on a pedestal. I don't climb up there myself. You know what I mean? There's a hell of a lot of far better modelers out there than I am, you know. But if people enjoy listening to me ramble as I try and show them how they can make some terrain, then all the best to it. Mel, been sniffing any glue lately? No, not lately. And anyway, Kerry's the glue sniffer. We got 2 types of glue, that hobby tack and some copy decks.
Oh yes,
yeah, and
copy decks. Yeah, that's got strong.
Well, actually, obviously, Kez worked at that chemical place.
Yes.
And she learned to smell chemicals.
Right. Yeah.
So we were trying to work out whether they were different chemicals or whether they were same and what was different. And there's ammonia in that one, apparently.
Yeah. By the way, there's often ammonia in acrylic paint because it keeps off the bacteria because it's water-based paint.
Yeah. Kat's saying low 40s humidity. I hate it when it goes above 20% humidity. California girl. Yeah. Yeah, but we're British. Do you not understand? We're not geared for this weather. We're geared for overcast and damp.
Yes, we're damp.
Yeah, we are. Well, that's what we're geared for. We're great in it.
Yeah,
we don't even need a coat if it's raining. It's not raining hard. We can do quite well by that. But I'll tell you what, when it starts snowing or when that ball of fire comes out in the sky and stays in the sky for more than like 2 days, we start to struggle.
Yeah, well, there's no AC here really. No. Not many houses have AC.
Not just that, our houses aren't built to be air conditioned. No. Do you know what I mean? They're built to actually, because it's far more common that we're cold in this country than warm.
I was just going to say, there's a lot of energy conservation, which means people tend to insulate the homes.
Yeah.
And when you insulate your home, you cut off the air circulation through the house. So that's great in the winter because it keeps you warm and it keeps your bills low. But in the summer, you're
in an oven.
There's no air circulation coming through, yeah.
Mel is our leader and we will follow him wherever he builds terrain. Damn it! Question. How is the plan on the book going? It's going very well. All that's going on with the book right now is obviously Dave Taylor's got his book to do. So me and Dave are just chatting about our plans and that sort of stuff because what we don't want to do is launch that I'm doing a book with Dave Taylor when he hasn't delivered the book he's already promised. Yeah, so when he delivers a book, which is September, that's the schedule. When he delivers his commitment, then, the people who backed his Kickstarter, they're all fine. They're not thinking, well, what, Dave's already taking money for another book. He hasn't done the one we pledged. You know what I mean? So that's all good. Yeah. And on top of that, we can actually show you the quality of the book. It might not be my book, but it'll be done by the same printers. We'll be using the same paper. So when we talk about what the book's going to be like, I'll actually have a finished article of a book from the printers we're using and laid out by Dave, who's the editor, who's going to be editing my stuff. So, I can show you more. So that's what's going on there. Right. I can tell you about the strange things happen to me, strange things. Naming the film, folks. Cookie for the rice comments. I have no idea. Most of us do not have AC. I open the windows and doors and let the beach breeze blow through. She's going to get herself banned. She's really going to bloody beach breeze through. Me and you are going to fall out, Catechus. You're off my Christmas card list. I had a large bowl of water in the kitchen for my 2 cats to help cool them down. They found it great as they were laying in it to cool down.
So cats don't like water, but it's not true.
No, cats will have water if they're too hot.
What you can do sometimes is, if you've got a desktop fan or something, get a bowl of ice cubes.
Yeah. And just let it.
I let the air blow over that.
I saw.
Actually, it's like a Earth's air conditioner. Actually, it does work.
I saw a really brilliant one. Yeah, in India, what they were doing is they were inserting clay pipes. Yeah, through the walls, and like a hexagon. Yeah, with probably about 30 pipes, 30 tubes going through the walls, and then they had a tap run to the top of the clay pipes. Clay absorbs moisture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it holds the moisture and feeds it in through all the air holes, and as the breeze just carries through, it soaks up the moisture.
So you get cool damp air.
Yeah. Perfect, absolutely perfect. And you just you just load the bricks at the start of the day.
Right.
Yeah, with water.
So you didn't need any power.
No, and it's just nature. Me personally, I've been getting cold water, putting it in the fridge downstairs, and then blowing it through my airbrush. The only problem is because I've got so many cameras in here now, I can't I can't put too much moisture in the air.
No, of course not.
Because of the electronics and that sort of stuff.
They'll mess them up. Yeah, they plus fog up the lenses. Yeah.
Or our Egyptian Maus who was sunbathing in the Kurd when it still wasn't hot enough for them. You wouldn't dare. Hell knows no wrath like a mama bear timed out. Do you know what? I probably wouldn't dare with Cat. I'll get Jace to do it. Battle of the moderators. Only one will survive. Quickest to the ban button wins. Right, I've got a PayPal to shout out. Yeah, so. Because good old Tim, he actually punted some over before we even started. So let me see if there's a message with it. Is there? How goes the medieval board? I've just got the Blood and Plunder Brigantine for my harbour. And yes, I'm still painting my castle. It's going well. They're together. The tutorials are coming together nicely. Yeah. Now, he sent over 5 nuggets. So, thank you, Tim. Let me get you on the screen. It's old school, this is. I need to get OBS on this machine. I've got to take it home. I just haven't had a chance to take it home because I've been biking in and out all the time.
All right, yeah.
So, let's get Tim on. There we go. I think I've just deleted the Stream Heroes thing, but never mind. There you are, Tim H. Oh, so I've got painting these up to do, but they're coming together nicely.
Yeah, looking very good indeed. Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to brown them and all that sort of stuff.
Are you going to vary the heights of them?
Well, I've got 3 different heights.
Oh, so you have, yeah.
And in fact, I've got 4.
Why didn't I notice that?
Yeah, so I can vary. I can stagger the canopy
so
that way.
Jump them around.
Yeah. Also, you know, my bases, they've got various heights on the bases, so depending on where I place them, will also give them height.
I was going to suggest that perhaps someone we could build up a little bit, and then, you know, because the terrain is going to be undulating anyway.
Yeah, it is. Not only that, what you tend to find is palm trees always grew above the canopy.
Yes, they do.
Because they grow a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So they can beat the canopy to the sun.
Yeah.
So what you tend to find is palm trees will expend the energy they need to beat the canopy, and then just maintain it. If you know what I mean. Yeah. Low moisture is worse for electronics than high. When the air is too dry, static discharges happen more frequently. Controlling humidity is essential for machine health. That's good.
Yeah.
Don't try to turn the moderators on each other. It will only end badly for you. Remember, I'm the phone call from instigating the Kez. Oh shit, yeah, you know his Kez phone number. I'll get in trouble. It's really shit when your moderators can grass to your wife on you. On Quest, where these people made a house out of scrap, one guy built a 5-bedroom house out of 2 little plastic bottles. Oh, that's the plastic bottle castle, isn't it? Over in, I don't know where, I think it's Far East. But this guy was going along the beach, and noticed how much plastic bottles there were.
Yeah.
So he collected it all up and he built a castle out of it.
Right.
He put the bottles inside these metal cages.
Yeah.
Then they formed the actual main structure.
Yes.
And then he just coated it.
Gracious.
Yeah, but it was an environmental project to show, look, we can take this scrap and we can use it to make houses.
Make something into it, yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Houses out of it, actually, yeah.
Hey, Uptown? Whole community on New Mexico built from trash.
Yeah, really. Yeah, there's a place in Puerto Rico, it's the same. Just in Old San Juan, place there where they built a town outside of the town just from scrap materials, basically. Every house is made from scrap materials, bits of corrugated iron, wooden boxes, that kind of thing, all bolted and locked together. Yeah.
Crazy. We should do more of that, far more of that.
Well, that's recycling, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's the ultimate sort of recycling.
We'll end up in a landfill if they don't use it.
Yeah, certainly will, mate. And they're running out, and they're not the best ways of dealing with these problems. You only get the cracking on the little ones. Then again, I imagine they bend more.
Yeah.
So that the cracking will be more exaggerated.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it's a smaller area.
Smaller area, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll fix that. I've got this issue where, with it being really dry, yeah, obviously I primed these, but as I was putting the heads back onto the palm trees, onto the palm tree trunks, I pressed down on and I've cracked the paint just at the top, cracked the primer, which can happen, you know what I mean? It's happened with me in the past. I'm going to fix it by just giving it a quick clean up with a little brush, yeah, and then just go over it with an airbrush, because I've got to highlight the tops with a highlight green anyway, because the tops were brighter than the main leaves.
You bleached by the sun?
No, actually, it's because they grow out the top, so it has the younger, it has the newer saplings.
Yeah.
So that's how palm trees. What you actually see, when you see the brown bits of the palm trees, that's the trunk forming.
Oh, right.
Yeah, basically, when they drop off, that's when the palm tree goes up another level.
Oh.
So each one of these rims, that was the start of a leaf.
Okay.
That's where it is. That's where the stem. So that's why you see palm trees and they start off as a bush, and they grow up, and it's literally as the bottom leaves dry off and die off, that becomes the trunk.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's how they actually grow.
Huh?
And so I really struggled with this because I was trying to get the look of the palm trees right. I'd done them a few different. It's like, it doesn't look right. Then once I understood the growth pattern of it, it makes it a lot easier to say, right, well then all these bottom leaves that hang directly down are the ones that have been withered because they're about to shed. Yeah. And, you know, the ones at the very top, these are the new shoots that are firing up, so they're going to be a lot brighter.
Right. It's amazing how tall they grow. Actually, I remember once in California, we were visiting the Randolph Hearst mansion in California. He's got like a castle on top of a hill, basically, and which goes down to the sea. A beautiful place. And we were in this tower. So you've got to bear in mind, we're not only on top of a big hill, we're on top of a tower on top of a big hill. And I was looking almost directly straight across the palm tree that was growing down at the bottom of the hill. Yeah. So it was the height of the hill and the height of the tower.
I think the highest...
It must have been 75, 85 feet.
I think that the highest recorded palm tree, it's in Indonesia and it's 230 foot.
Wow, this one was quite that tall, but this was weird.
And it's one of these situations, this palm tree, there's a photo of it. And it's in this weird situation where it's grown with a load of other palm trees, but it's in the shade of a huge cliff. Yeah, and because the sun obviously disappears behind the cliff and puts the tree in shadow, the tree has literally grown itself all the way to the top and above the cliff to get in the sun. Yeah, and it's just the landscape has forced the tree to grow so much. Whereas there's some trees that are like 20 foot away from it who get more sun and haven't grown anywhere near as much because they've only needed to get above their canopy rather than beat this cliff.
Yeah, this one obviously is going so high that I saw because it was in the lee of the hill. You follow me? So half the day it would have been in the shadow from the hill. So it had obviously grown up, like you say, to get up above the shadow line of the hill. Because the hill would have cast shadow onto it.
Yeah, palm trees will only grow just enough to get in the sun. Yeah.
This one had nothing around it at all. And it was like massively tall.
Thing is, you don't know what was around it before.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, it might have been. Maybe it was probably a whole plantation.
Yeah, and it's gone up. They've left that one as a feature. You know what I mean?
That's true, actually.
You got whenever you look at these things, you got to look at it in context. You know what I mean? I mean, we went Alton Towers last weekend. Yeah, and we do a lot of time in the garden there. Yeah, and some of the old trees there are beautiful. And you look at them, you're like, how the hell has it got like that? And then you realise the garden's been landscaped since it was like that.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and
it's changed around.
Yeah, Kez points these things out. She'll be like, no, there was a tree there. You can see where the depression was for the roots. And you can see where other plants haven't grown because it starved the ground of supplies. And so Kez is really good at doing that sort of stuff and putting it in context. But that's what she does, isn't it? Esther. Button polyps. I've never built on a train, never painted a mini, and only ever played Gaslands as a tabletop game. However, I'm strangely addicted to your channel. Welcome, buddy. Tam, you alright, ducky? Jace is waving palm trees at me. I better start painting, hadn't I? I really had. All I'm painting at the minute is I'm using army painter. I should be using like house paints for these, to be truthful. This isn't the most cost-effective way of painting using model paint. But while I'm getting a feel for it, it's just a bit easier. And like I said, once I actually know exactly what colours I want, I'll just take them and get them colour matched.
What colours are you using?
Right now, just to get this effect, I'm using that brown.
Okay.
Yeah, with just a touch of the original green that's on the base.
Green with it,
yeah, just to harmonise it a little.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah, most natural kind of living things aren't pure green. They tend to be green with a bit of red in or a bit of brown in.
Well, that's the carotenoids, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the carotenoids are what control the chlorophyll when it breaks down as the leaf dies. That's what gives leaves their purple colour. Reds and purples, the carotids, and then they control the free radicals from when the chlorophyll breaks down. Guess who's been watching lectures? Told you I'm going to have palm trees. I'm going to nail. You know as much as everyone. Palm trees are my kryptonite. Yeah, for years I've avoided them, and I've just decided no. I'm going to nail them. I'm going to nail them so well. I'm going to end up producing the most beautiful palm tree you've ever seen. Yeah. White tack, I use it for spray.
I wonder what I thought it was pebble.
It's picked up loads of paint and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Bits off the board.
Isn't it?
It's not just that because it's so hot as
well.
well.
It's melting. Yeah. Of course, in this country we're not used to palm trees, are we? Really, they do grow here, but only in the very southwest.
My neighbour's got one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I only noticed it yesterday, a couple of days ago.
Right.
But in the front garden, I've never noticed.
Yeah, you see a lot of them in Cornwall and in Galway as well.
Oh, yeah, they like. Then again, they get the Gulf Stream along that side of the coast, don't they?
The Gulf Stream, so it's warm water, so warmer climate. Yeah. So it never gets that cold in the winter. Really.
I got it. Dang, the internet's that cool. Right. Listen, if there's any specific comment for me, put Mel in caps at the front of it so I can see it, because you lot have your own conversations as we do these things anyway. Right, all I've done is a bit of Monster Brown and just a touch of drab green, army green. Same as the primer that I use for the palm trees. Just helps pull that brown into the green a little and harmonises it as it goes down. And you don't have such stark contrast then. It's weird, quite a lot of the times when you're doing these colour things, you add colours into your colour that no one could ever really see, but it feels right.
It makes a difference, yeah.
It does. I mean, no one can actually look at it and go, oh, that's got a bit of green in it.
Yeah.
But they'll know if it hasn't.
Right, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that's very true, yeah.
I mean, palm trees are not only my my kryptonite. Even Fred leaves them out of his paintings.
Funnily enough, yeah.
Because I was like, surely you've painted loads of palm trees, and Fred's like, no, I'd take them out of the picture.
Yeah, I have done that in the past. Yeah, that's true.
What? I mean, I know for a fact that you don't like doing portraits and stuff like that. Yeah, but is there any landscapes or anything like that you're not a fan of?
Not really, no. I'm pretty wide open for anything like that. Portraits are tricky because then you're dealing with psychology.
Yeah, you're not just representing something. You're trying to please someone, aren't you?
Well, yeah, because people never see themselves in the mirror how they really are. Of course, we all have a self-image, so then you fall into all of that. And it's a minefield of problems, really. So better to be avoided. There are some people who have a natural talent. I used to know an artist in America called Sally Keller.
Yeah.
Who's, I'm sure she's still doing it. Fantastic portrait artist, absolutely brilliant. She had a natural ability to do it, But unless you've got that natural ability, it's best left well alone.
Yeah.
Architecture doesn't have a self-image.
I mean, a building's not going to get miffed because you haven't done it flatting. You haven't flattered it.
I did a few when I was younger. Then you learn from experience.
No, I'm not doing any more of these. So go on. Which was the portrait that put you off portrait painting?
I did what I thought was an extremely close portrait, very, very close to how the person looked, of the wife of my agent when I lived.
Oh!
And it was a gift. It was a Christmas gift. It was done for, I think it wasn't a commercial.
Yeah.
It was a goodwill gift.
Yeah.
And it was only a little painting, about so big. And I did a head and shoulders of his wife from a photograph. and I thought it looked just like her. And when I gave it to him to give to her for Christmas, I saw him a week later, and he said she hates it.
Oh,
She's put it facing the wall.
oh God! And that's your agent.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So that's the. I'm not doing any more
He
of them.
was
Then.
very honest. so yeah, it kind of puts you off. So yeah.
He was,
Well,
do you know what?
uh,
He was probably honest because he saw it. Fred, don't start doing portraits, man. We're on a good gig here, Fred. Don't
right,
start doing
yes,
portraits.
yeah, exactly, yes, yeah, because he was obviously on
Well,
a
I mean, he'd be getting
33%.
commission.
Yeah.
Is that what they get?
Oh yeah,
Art
agents,
agents,
yeah,
33%.
oh yeah. That was normal. Some charge more actually. The really successful ones charge more.
That's a bit iffy, isn't it?
He was very well connected actually.
He'd have to be for bloody
He
what you
was,
call it.
yeah. He knew Francis Bacon.
Yeah.
He used to hang around with that crowd of painters and writers.
So you paid for access then,
So,
very
so,
much.
so through him, I was quite well connected. Yes, into the arts world through him. Yeah.
So
He
pay
wasn't,
for
he wasn't an artist himself, but he used to hang around in all the right places. And
all
he
the
used to
right
go
people.
to the culinary rooms in Soho, which was a club in Soho in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And all the artists and writers used to hang around in. So that was where the Bohemians went.
The Bohemians.
Yeah.
Did you have a Bohemian phase?
I think we all have one of those, Bal, don't we? Usually when we're younger. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it doesn't look brilliant. I'm probably going to go through this paint very quickly on these, so I might have to. I don't really want to change colours just yet because I'm quite liking the results.
It's a good sense of heat that you were achieving on it. They look like they've been in the sun.
Yeah. It took a lot of time to realise where the weathering is with palm trees and how they weather and how they dry out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the growth pattern and that sort of stuff. But once you nail it, it looks right. I'll still have to highlight it up just a little and just get another stage of highlight on the brown. And I'm thinking one stage of highlight on the green at the top.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and that should do it.
Yeah. Wow.
No question. I'm wanting to create Japanese Oriental diorama. I'm wondering who makes best Japanese style houses up to 20 mil. Who makes the best houses? A Shiru model terrain made down in London. By far. But he's married to a Japanese woman. He lived in Japan, I think.
Yeah.
But his stuff is amazing. Whenever you get to the Oriental stuff, if you want Japanese, you go for a Shiru. Oshiru. Oshiro. Oshiru, I think it is.
Oshiro.
Mel, are you using the palms I sent you? Yeah, they're around somewhere, mate. Foreground does have a 20 mil scale. Does it? Yeah, I use regular craft paint for bigger terrain. Oh, yeah. Normally I use regular craft paint, but when I'm trying to figure out colours, I like using, my army painter acrylics. Yeah, mainly because I can just get a better feel with them. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to doing the big stuff, like I say, I should be doing this with the house paint, saving, But in truth, to do all these, I'll probably use about £4 worth of paint. If I use an entire one of those and a bit of green, it's not really a massive expense, is it? You know what I mean?
Right.
For figuring something out and getting it right, it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Probably get a finer grade of coloration as well with the acrylics than you would with the latex.
The house paints.
House paint, yeah. Be finer tuned colours.
Yeah, more than likely. But like I say, sometimes it's okay to spend a little bit of money to work something out, because at the end of the day, you could you could go down the route and go, all right, I'm going to go down the cheap route. Great. But then you're going to mess up all your things. You're not going to do it properly. You've wasted a hell of a lot more time and money. Spend £4 on some decent paints and get a decent result.
Yeah.
Oshiro only do 15 and 28 mil. Oh!
What did she want? Was it 20?
Yeah, 20 mil. 20 mil. 20 mil's difficult, to be truthful.
Scratch build, maybe?
You may have to, Max. I mean, I don't want to get into talking into scales. That got me into a lot of trouble. I did a video on scales. You know what it's like when I couldn't cover all the scales. So for the scales I missed out, there were a lot of unhappy people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you mean scales, dimension scales?
Yeah, dimension scales in wargaming and railroading and that sort of stuff, and how they compare in the systems and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of mathematics in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of mathematics in that. There's also a lot of different scales. And people are very, very passionate about their scales.
Yeah. Well, of course, if you're doing a build, everything's got to be on the same scale. It's got to match up.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's nice. That's really nice.
The beauty of doing this, of course, is that you're going to be able to customize each tree. So each one's going to look slightly different.
Yeah.
And that's how you find in nature. No two trees look exactly the same, do they?
No, not at all. Nature is full of diversity.
Yes.
In every possible combination.
Yeah, to a degree of complexity that's like mind-boggling.
It is.
Yeah. It's like bamboo as well. I mean,
until you get into the Fibonacci sequence, and then things get really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if you're married to an ecologist and she tells you how often the Fibonacci sequence actually applies.
Yes, in
nature,
yes,
it's scary.
Yes.
How many things do actually grow to it?
Well, it seems like nature, and that includes us, by the way, is kind of programmed to a certain kind of sequence of ratios.
Yeah.
Like 1 to 3, 3 to 5, it goes on like that. And those ratios recur all over the place. And not only instinctively, people are actually attracted to those ratios. Like, for instance, when you're building a building, they're often those ratios.
Yeah, it feels right for us.
Yeah,
something.
It just looks right, feels right, yes. Yeah. That's one.
Simple, isn't it?
Looking very good. Just takes a bit of patience and.
That's all it is, though, isn't it? Yeah. With anything. I mean, what do they say? 400 hours to master something?
Yeah.
Because
it rewires your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So after about 400 hours on palm trees, I will be able to do them. Welcome, Brother Sword. Are you still in monsoon crap? Monsoon Susan. Have you ever heard that?
Monsoon Susan.
It turned out, I went down to the National Arboretum. Yeah, down at Cannock. The war memorial.
Oh yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got a Far East section.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
I've not actually ever been there.
Seriously, mate. If you ever want to go down, I'll take you down. It's a good day.
Yeah, I would like to go there.
Some wonderful sculptures, and it's a great. I'm not saying it's a great day out, because I mean, Soldier's great.
It's a serious place.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But it is beautiful.
It's a place of remembrance.
Yeah, it is a place of remembrance. And what you call it, but. I go down there every few months and just have a wander around. Mainly when I get myself down, to be truthful. Yeah, it's one of the. I've always. It's this weird sort of logic where it's a beautiful place to walk around, but when you walk around so many soldiers' graves, it's a bit hard to be depressed about your own life.
Yes.
It puts a lot in context,
Puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Really, yes.
There's a memorial there to one of my friends,
yeah.
so it's whenever I need it, whenever I've got a bit of the black dog, if I go down there, I can even hear the words coming out of his mouth. I think, pull yourself together, boss. You know what I mean? And it's just a nice kick up the butt for me. Yeah, to like, okay, you're depressed, but. You're not dead.
You know what
I mean? You still got life. You're still living.
Yeah.
So I always feel better when I leave there. But it's an amazing place. But down the Far East section, they've got a memorial to the Chindits.
Oh, have they? Yeah.
And next to them, they've got a memorial to the Chinthi women, which was a branch of the Women's Auxiliary Corps, nurses, caterers, who went with the Chindits just behind the lines.
Yes.
Yeah, to help support them.
Hospital staff.
Yeah, and I wanted to represent this in in my army, and the idea of perhaps having a medic that was a nurse, one of the Chintzy women. Yeah, and it started off like I was talking about different types of rainforests. Now you can get like the normal tropical rainforest, then you get a monsoon rainforest. Yeah, and I was trying to say monsoon season.
Came up backwards.
Monsoon Susan, was born. I mean, it must have taken me about 6 takes to get it right. And by the time I got it right, a character name was born. I just have to find the model to paint her up now. Yeah, and she's going to be my medic in the force.
Monty and Susan,
400 hours. I've got a long way to go making videos. Yeah, but that's how long it takes. I mean, I've got over what? I've got over 400 videos out on YouTube now, and I'm still learning. You never stop learning this stuff. Mel, the only advice I can give to scale is start small. Very true. The comments disappeared. I thought the scales video was succinct and full of those confused about scales. Those complaining don't have to watch. Yeah, well, you always get. You know what the internet is like. Black Dog is trying to turn a negative into positive crafting. Do it, mate. Do it. It's what I did with this channel.
I was just thinking about that person with the 20mm scaling problem for Japanese architecture. Scratch build might be an interesting solution there, because when you think about it, a lot of Japanese buildings are made out of paper and bamboo, paper and wood anyway. So you could use kind of like glued paper, paper that's been sized with some acrylic or something like that, and what do you call it, balsa wood? Balsa wood. You can actually scratch build Japanese stuff quite easily using those materials, I would have thought.
Yeah. It depends how ornate you want to go.
I'm just going to say, simple stuff would be easy. Yeah, more ornate stuff might not be so good.
You've got barbecue skewers for all your bamboo stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we use.
Barbecue skewers, it's a good one as well, yeah. Balsa wood.
Balsa foam.
Of course, there's what you call it, foam cover as well.
Yeah.
For solid bases and things.
I think that the challenge is that it's the 20mm, mate, the way you're going to struggle, because there's plenty in other scales, but 20mm isn't the most popular of scales, so trying to find manufacturers that supply it is more challenging. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying they don't exist, but when you're using a more niche scale, then suppliers for that scale are going to be more niche. Palm trees, trenches, walk to the beach, stumps, bad. Yeah, quite possible, mate. Once we figure out our Pacific Ocean colours and we get our resin doing, then we'll have a nice beach scene. Yeah, 6 foot wide, running up. Palm trees, then into the jungle canopy. We'll do the Arakan offensive and see if we can actually pull it off.
Arakan, it'd be the whole sort of like terrain going from sea to inland with the village and everything.
Yeah, if we do Arakan. The Arakan offensive wasn't a Chindit operation, it was supposed to be a distraction operation. Well, it was supposed to be an operation that became a bit of a distraction operation to pull the Japanese troops towards the coastline and away from where the Chindits were infiltrating into Burma.
Right.
Yeah, but it was a failed offensive. But it was a beach landing, and so there's definitely, within Burma, there's definitely play for beach landings.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you got the mangroves as well, which that'll be a hell of a project to do.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, actually, as well, it could double up Pacific atolls. The marine offensive during the war.
Yeah, and also, the Anzacs, so the Australians and the New Zealanders.
Yeah.
So plenty of opportunity. But like I say, first job is Kai's got a big sheet of the foam, and he's measuring everything up. He reckons, I don't know how much it's going to be, but it won't be expensive off Kai.
We do mates rates here in the studio.
Yeah, we do. We're always helping each other out. Yeah. So generally you only really ever pay for materials more than anything, unless it's a massive job. Yeah. Roger that. African campaign, maybe Casablanca.
Yeah, there's another possibility as well with palm trees again.
Yeah, definitely. But like I say, I want to try and theme it towards Burma, because one of the things that I want to do is I want to do a campaign map. I mean, remember my Fable Rounds map? Yeah, I want to do one of those where we can actually play the Burmese campaign over it.
Yeah.
Now, I've got the map.
Yeah,
so we can do it.
Like that,
yeah, I've got the Chindit, that's all the operations, that's everywhere they battled, all the major, so I can do it.
Yeah.
I know I can do it, and I just think it'd be absolutely an awesome project to do, and I quite like doing that, man.
Of course, the whole thing was to keep the Japanese from invading India. Which they did have a crack at doing, actually.
They had a couple of cracks at doing.
They did invade northern India, yeah.
Good old Uncle Subus. You've heard the story, haven't you, about my uncle?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, obviously he was part of the whole thing of getting the Japanese into India.
Into India, yes.
So yeah, I'm very much well aware of what what great Uncle Subbers did.
So the Chindits were there to push the Japanese back into Burma and away from India.
Yeah.
And of course, they had 1 million soldiers tied down in China as well. The Japanese did.
Yeah.
China and Manchuria. So with all that, they had their hands full, all in the terrain they had already, let alone trying to invade India. Really.
Thing is, Japan just thought that with the war in Europe, we'd give it up.
Yeah.
They just thought they're too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, there was the general, believe it or not, I was reading this just recently, there was a general kind of idea in the late 1930s that that particular generation weren't up to fighting the war. They actually thought that they weren't going to make very good soldiers and sailors and airmen.
Really?
Yeah. The World War One generation didn't have a very high opinion of the generation that followed.
Then again, this is quite common, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They got a surprise, of course, because they held their own.
How much of this jungle terrain are you going to make? Someone want to tell him the size of the board and build him for salute? Quite a bit, mate. Quite a bit. By the way, we are fundraising tonight, and it's going on palm trees. Yeah, I want another 200. I'm not joking. I've got another 50 on the way, and I want another 200.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll need them.
Yeah. So you're going to make like the beach running up straight up into the tree line.
Yeah. I'm going to do the lot, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the lot. It's going to look beautiful. The swamps, the mangroves further up. I've just got to, like I say, start off getting a basic table just so I can play some games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once I've got my basic table, then just start adding eye candy to it. I mean, the good thing is, Kai does do these terrain bases for me. Dead easy to start to put the base together and start something. So if I want to do a project, I've got that thing up there, the aquarium Buddha head. So that needs to get embedded in a mountainside or something with palm trees coming off it.
Yeah, that would look smashing, wouldn't it? With all vegetation growing around it and everything. Yeah, because the nature takes over this stuff, doesn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, there's already some of that on the thing itself already, isn't it?
Yeah, it's already modelled on.
The vine.
Yeah, but I've got to blend that in so it looks more natural.
Yeah. Yeah, funnily enough, I watched a documentary once on they were renovating a fresco on a wall in a Buddhist monastery.
Yeah.
Or Buddhist temple, I should say.
Oh, is this the colour by numbers one?
Yeah. And as they were taking the old peeling paint off to put new paint on, they discovered each area had a number on it, like painted by numbers. So nothing new.
Nothing new, painted by numbers.
This was like 10th century or something.
Kat says, wow, you're either going to be an expert on palm trees or develop a phobia about them. I had a phobia about palm trees. I've got this weird way. Whenever I come across something that I find really challenging, I break it down into its constituent parts, and then I hammer each part until I know it instinctively. Yeah, so I will keep painting palm trees until I know exactly how to paint palm trees. Once I know exactly how to paint lots of different palm trees, then I will try to build them. Yeah, because I know the painting stage is already nailed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I need to worry about is getting it look right when I'm building. So I'll spend all my time building just trunks, and I'll use plastic foliage on them. And then once I've got the trunks down, then we'll move on to the fronds.
Yeah.
And then once I've got that down, I should have the lot down, and we do the lot. Yeah. So this is why you see these terrain labs on me working out resin tints and colour, because there's no point learning just enough to give it a go. Yeah, I need to know it inside out, because you lot give it a go, I give it a go, and you lot ask me, what about this? So I need to know the next level. I really need to know the subject, because if I'm going to present it as a technique, I can't just present, I know how to do this. I need to present, I know how to do this, and I know all the supporting information as well. And that just comes from hammering it. Then we will quiz you on the various kinds. Mel needs a painting assistant and an intern. I had one, Jace, but he doesn't come down the studio anymore. Sorry, Jace.
Have you ever used rattan in your builds?
What do you mean by rattan?
Rattan is kind of like
You mean the paper, like
it's like a fibrous plant material.
I haven't, to be truthful, no.
I was just thinking because you could scratch build quite a lot of stuff from rattan as well. It's a natural material. You can paint it, you can shred it. It's just like the stuff to make baskets out of.
Right, okay, we'll have to get some of that and have a play with it.
Rattan,
Have a bit of a terrain lab on it.
Yeah. Be an interesting material to investigate possibilities with that, actually. Because it's fibrous. So you could do like fondue, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's, of course, a natural vegetable stuff anyway. So if you burn the build, it would just fly in as, like bamboo.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We'll have to get some of that and have a play, guys.
Yeah.
I did have a care package today. AK Interactive sent me some goodies, some resins and that sort of stuff. So we'll have to have a play with those as well. Yeah, see what they're like. I mean, they're only their standard resins and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But
it's always good to try something.
It's always good to have a handle on new stuff.
Something new, different combinations of new things. Come up with different solutions, don't they?
Yeah. Stay in there and don't fall over. Mel, the kind of bamboo shredded. Right, got you. Mel knows various kinds, cat, medium, small, large. What, eh? Oh, quiz me. Why not make a shout out to all the 90k subs? One palm tree each, painted and ready and sent to Mel. No chance. I mean, I've had you lot sent. I've had inflatable palm trees come through the post and all sorts. Palm tree underwear. Thank you, Kat. Kat's gonna go kick off me. She didn't send me inflatable palm. She didn't send me palm tree underwear. But right now she's like, oh, cheeky Charlie. Oh, how dare it? My reputation. Oh, but no, what you call it? A lot of palm trees to do. I'll check out that rattan stuff.
Yes, it might be a possibility for your undergrowth. You can shred it and paint it and all kinds of things with it. It's quite versatile material. It's kind of like old-fashioned thing, but
hey, I'm cool with old-fashioned. Bit like me. I'll tell you what we will have to do. Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you're up to learn gaming. Because once we've got a board, there's no reason on a Thursday night.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
We can't have a couple of hours jolly and roll some dice instead of painting. Because I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind the occasional game, would you? I think I'll stick with shredded wheat. Mel, do you have a garden centre shops over there? Yes, we do. Rattan from their shading supplies.
Oh.
Right, yeah, okay, nice one, Kat.
Yeah.
Are you asking for some? I know I could find... No, Kat, I am not asking for palm tree, what you call it. Yeah, because you lot will want me to model them and there's no way that's happening. No, did he know, did he know? No. Scratch that idea, Kat. You don't have my address. It's all good. That's morally wrong. A bit on that. Do you find when you're doing a job that the further into the job you do, you get a bit slapdash, or are you able to maintain your composure? I suppose with your stuff, you have to maintain it.
I tend to kind of lapse a bit in the middle.
Do you?
Yeah. I start off high energy, then lapse a little bit in the middle, and then pick up again.
When you realise you've got to sharpen it up to complete it.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. Or it's kind of like you start it with enthusiasm, and then you get into the hard work bit of it in the middle, which you just slog your way through, and then towards the end you pick up again with the inspirational part of it because
you're almost there.
It's coming together, and you can see a result.
Definitely some of that. I also find that quite often. Yeah, as I'm doing something, I'll be doing a technique and then I'll get comfortable with it where I can get a bit slapdash with it because the muscle memories come back on that specific technique and I've got the feel for how much pressure I can use with the brush on this plant or something like that.
Nice.
And I'll get a little bit slapdash then. So the first are really precise. Then as I move on, I get more slapdashes. I get more confident with the material.
Yeah. Depends on what it is that you're painting, of course. I mean, sometimes slapdash is really appropriate.
Yeah.
You'll actually get a better effect from being a bit more casual about where the paint goes.
It's one of the things I've been actively trying to do. I'm not going to use the term OCD because I'm not OCD, but I'm a bit particular about getting things right and straight and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
Yeah, but with a lot of terrain, what you don't actually want that. You want it a little bit more slapdash. So
sometimes, yeah, it looks better when it's been a little bit more
randomised.
irregular.
Yeah. And I'm having to find myself, forcing myself to be slapdash because it's so against the grain for me.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. A bit more expressionistic.
Yeah. You know, just giving it a go and just that feels right, rather than I've got that right. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of strange a little, to be truthful.
So it's letting go of the control a little bit.
Yeah, very much so.
The self-control that you have, when you're painting. I'm the same. I tend to do a lot of architecture, so I need a lot of precise self-control to do that.
Yeah.
But then when I come to paint the sky part or the landscape part of the painting, then I can let rip a little bit and get a bit more loose and free. And
so is that? Do you feel different when you get to it? Do you actually feel like?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's like a sigh of relief. Architecture is tough to paint. Yeah.
A palm tree print mankini. Tamsin, don't you dare, young lady, or I swear to God I will come down to your labs in London and dance on your desk wearing it. And that's a squaddy promise. Don't you dare, Tam. Tamsin has an evil sense of humour. Yes, Tamsin does have an evil sense of humour. Mal has a sense of revenge. But no, I do know what you mean. I can imagine you get into that sort of part, and you know what I mean.
There's also a very zen thing you can get into as well, where you get so involved in what you're doing, it's like you don't want it to end.
Yeah.
If you follow me, and it's like you're dreading it finishing.
Because you know you've got to deal with something new and the new challenges.
Yeah, because you're in that zone and you've conquered it and you're comfortable there.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that nice, comfortable zone now you've found it.
It's like comfortable sofa, you don't want to get off,
You get that quite a lot. What happens is you get people who are perhaps painters and they develop a good style of painting. And then what happens is they start to build really large armies. Rather than switching to something different to paint, they keep repeating. And they end up with these massive armies because it's that comfort zone thing.
Yes, yeah. I've been there. Definitely been there, yeah. But of course, sometimes again, that minus can be made a plus.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes that can be a positive if you want to build a large army. You want a large
area or a
large gaming.
I must admit, there's time. I always say, I've never walked into this place not wanting to be here.
Oh no!
Yeah,
no.
Never. Yeah. And not. I mean, I've plenty of jobs I've walked in and I've wanted to turn around before I've even got to the door. Yeah, but I've never had that feeling here. There are days when I come in and I might not be looking forward to the day because perhaps I know I've got 11 hours of painting little rocks and it's going to be monotonous. Yeah, and it's just something that's got to be done. You know what I mean? Like, no dream job is a dream job. It always comes with ups and downs.
Work is work. Yes,
yeah, exactly. Yes. And when I'm coming in with those, but I get what you're saying because there is something about once you've nailed it, you've got the technique down. Those days, although they're long and monotonous, they're so stress free.
You're in a comfort zone.
Yeah, you're in a real confident zone. So much so that you can take your eye off the ball and actually listen to some music or actually watch a documentary while you're doing it because you've got it nailed.
Let your mind drift.
Yeah. And that's nice, but you can't do that when you've got to be on the ball.
No.
You can have the background, you can have it as background noise, but you can't bring it to the forefront of your mind because the moment you take your mind off the job,
right, skew whip.
Yeah, something goes wrong.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's very true. It does depend, like you say, though, what you are actually doing there, and different things have different character qualities that you, in a sense, you impart when you're working on them. Reminds me of Vincent van Gogh. Once wrote a letter to his brother Theo saying, when you paint something, you become it. So when you paint a chair, you become the chair.
Right.
In your head. I mean.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You identify with whatever it is.
Yeah, it's true because when you build terrain, you sit there, you imagine it. You know what I mean?
You have to kind of feel what a palm tree is like, or kind of get to grips with how they grow and the different kind of effects of the light on the leaves. Some are bleached and some brown and some are darker colour and that kind of thing. So you get like almost an instinctual response to the subject that you're working with.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
that makes sense.
Start to identify, in other words, what you're doing. Yeah.
I identify as a space marine. Oh, 1000k palm tree mankini dance. Nope. It's cat off. See you later. See you later, darling. Cat Swifty does wear it while dancing on my desk. I will take and share pics. You'll be too traumatized to take and share pics, my young lady. They asked Mel, how do I learn to work as good as you? There is nothing complicated, answers Mel. Just 2 hours a day for 2,000 years, young man. Not even that hard, guys. Just pick it up and just do it. That's all you have to do. And just be happy doing it.
Yes, I was going to say that. Yes,
it's not. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? The trick to it is not about being happy with the results.
Yeah.
It's about being happy doing the process.
Doing it, yeah.
So no matter what the results are, even if the results don't turn out that well, from the process you will still be happy, and from your results you will still look at it and you will learn and you will improve.
Yeah. Sometimes actually, if you are happy doing what you're doing, you actually make a better job of doing what
you're
doing.
Oh God, yeah.
Rather than stressing and straining and
it's more natural. You're more relaxed. Your hands move far more naturally.
Absolutely, yeah. So you end up with a more natural result in the end.
Yeah.
With less stress as well. So it's plus.
Being happy counts for a lot, guys. It really does.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You know, I may not be rich, but I am happy.
That makes you rich.
Yeah, it does. It does in my book, mate.
I've met rich people who've been extremely unhappy.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't pay your phone bill with happiness, I found out. But it is.
That's really true.
Fred, is it? Yeah. No, when Mel hits do the gopher dance in a mankini. You lot can stop this. That reminds me of having Texas 3 foot by 4 foot border foam with tin foot and then do a ton of walls for a commission. Oh, yeah. That'd kill your hands.
Do what, sorry?
To texture a large piece of foam, we quite often get texture on it. What we'll do is we'll roll aluminium foil into a ball.
Yeah.
You get lots of crinkles.
Yeah.
So you can roll it over.
Yeah.
But think of the actual contact surface area of a ball, and think of a 3 foot by 4 foot piece of foam that you've got to run it across everywhere. It's a long job.
Right. Yes. I can imagine. Have you ever used? I've got downstairs. I've got some reflective mylar.
Yeah, used that in the past.
So it's like a mirror effect.
Yeah.
You can get it on it. It's self-adhesive. You just peel off the backing.
Yeah, you put it on the back of windows behind a slight blue tint. Yeah, and it gives like a glass effect.
Like a glass effect.
Yeah.
I was going to say I work really well in windows. Yeah. I inherited some of that from an artist studio I cleared out once a few years ago.
Cleared out, yeah. You were moving in, were you?
No, well, actually, it was unfortunate that her son asked me to clear out the studio because she died.
Oh, right.
It was his mother, and she passed away, and he didn't have any use for any of the contents of her studio. So he said,
go on, help yourself.
Help yourself to whatever you want, but very generously, yes. So with those things, I've tried to share what I took from that studio with other people, rather than just keep it for myself. And
He's good in any.
So working in these studios has been great because this is not a good opportunity.
These studios are great for that sort of stuff, for helping each other.
There's a lot of young people here who haven't got much money and they're just starting out. So
yeah,
give them a couple of paintbrushes or something like that makes the week. It helps them a bit.
They are, what you call it, full of youth and full of what you call it, high hopes. Life hasn't dragged them down yet.
I found somebody one day, I won't mention names, but somebody was in the foyer with a broken paintbrush and said, have you got any glue? she was going to glue the paintbrush handle back together again. So I just went down to the studio, got a couple of brushes. Cost very much, and gave them to her.
Yeah. And I just find that because to me, to be perfectly honest, half the time, most of the brushes, I look at them as disposable.
They're not very expensive.
You know what I mean? Especially, these acrylic nail ones.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The nylon ones are quite cheap.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And these are actually horsehair. They're not even nylon.
Are they really? Yeah.
Yeah, they're horsehair.
Oh, wow.
They are genuine horsehair.
I didn't know that. I thought the nylon brushes.
No.
I've got a few nylon ones. But...
No, I use nylon ones, but all the acrylic ones, they are actually, horsehair.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're decent brushes, but I see them as disposable. And then to think that there's artists that look at them and like, can I glue my...
Yeah. Actually, the Impressionists, when they painted a picture, when they finished painting the picture, they break the brushes on the knee.
What as a symbol or something?
Yeah, they'll never use the same brushes for another painting.
There you go.
So, yeah, brushes are disposable.
No, I did make a mat. Go for dance for him. So, have you already made a tabletop yet? Not seen that. Tabletop for what? Broken sword. I believe he's using a mat as his board for the Burma Bills. No, Gary, I'm not. I threw it out. I didn't like it. Those lot loved it. I loved it. No, not good enough, so it went in the bin.
Oh, right, yeah.
It happens. You see, these lot have a far higher. I have far higher standards than these guys. Yeah, and I don't mean that derogatory, but they'll look at something that I've done and they'll think it's amazing. I'll look at it and it's like, that's going to the bin.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, you know how artists judge ourselves.
Well, that's true. You tend to be hypercritical of what you've done yourself.
Yeah.
I'm exactly the same. And I sometimes get people looking at my work and saying that they like it. And I could like to see as the flaws.
Yeah.
You know,
Can you not see how I've screwed up there and there? You don't know what you're talking about.
The things I'm not happy with is what
Yeah.
I see.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I've always said to, whenever you're doing this sort of stuff, the amount of times that you see stuff, when your work, you don't see the good bits, you see the mistakes.
I see the mistakes, yeah. But that's the incentive to carry on doing it.
To get good.
Yeah, because if you're satisfied with what you've done, where's the motivation to do more?
True.
So it's actually good to be self-critical because that motivates you to carry on and get better and better and better.
But be hypercritical, but be honest. Where you've made gains, be honest and congratulate yourself.
Yes,
Otherwise, you're just constantly putting yourself down. Hypercritical only works, if you are honest with yourself about not just what you've done wrong, but what you've done right.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Otherwise, you can get into this hypercritical situation where you constantly see the bad in your work because you don't think it's good until all the bad is gone.
Right.
And the trick with being hypercritical is, be critical about everything, but if it's good, be complimentary about it.
Yes, you have
Don't ignore it and just be concentrating on what. Because criticism isn't negative.
No.
To critique something is just simply to observe and to comment on it.
It's constructive criticism.
Yeah. So you've got to understand when we say be hypercritical, all we're doing is saying look at your builds and look at where you're improving, look at where you need to improve.
Yeah. And step back.
Yeah. But don't just look at it as look for the negatives and then you can congratulate yourself when you do a piece with no negatives on it. Because to be perfectly honest, have you ever done any piece of art where you haven't made a single mistake on it and you've been 100% happy?
If I have, I can't remember it.
Same here, guys.
So,
and Fred's a lifelong artist, taught in universities. I have never produced a terrain piece I've been 100% happy with. Yeah, so understand, don't aim for that thing with no faults on it.
No,
because to be truthful, I don't think you'll ever get there.
No, perfection is impossible to reach.
Yeah.
In fact, actually trying to reach perfection is a creative block.
Yeah, it is.
It stops you from being creative.
It frustrates you.
Yeah, you will never achieve perfection. Nobody ever has. But perfection isn't really what we're looking for anyway, really.
No, it isn't.
Because anything that mirrors the real world isn't going to have.
Isn't perfect.
It's going to have flaws.
It's imperfect.
Yeah, we live in a flawed world. Yeah. So it becomes more realistic for the imperfections, if you follow
me. Yeah, my board's falling over. Right, how many have we got left? 4 on that one, and then just got those to do there. What are we on? 8:45. What time's Pat pick? I thought you had paint setting.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go actually now and tidy up the studio, otherwise you'll be waiting for me later.
Yeah, no worries. Listen, I'm on you tonight, so whenever you're ready, just ring Pat and then come on up and watch it, because I'm not going to get these finished tonight. I'm back in tomorrow anyway, so I'll just carry on cracking on, have a chat with this lot as I do. Yeah, and when you're ready, just give me a shout on. Because it'll be at 9:30 at least, won't it?
Oh, at least, probably more close to 10.
Yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine, mate. That's brilliant, Fred. Thanks for that, bud.
Cheers, no problems.
Right, I will see you in a little while, mate.
See you later. Yeah, good luck with the palm trees.
Oh, we'll keep cracking on. They will get done.
Say good night to everybody.
Right, Fred's off. We might see him when he pops back up to let me know that it's home time. But, for right now, thank you, Fredicus.
moved your camera there with my phone.
It's not even switched on, mate, so don't worry about it.
Okay, see you later.
See you later, Fred.
Bye now.
Do you want me? No, here. No, Fred, let me do it.
I'll do it.
You're right. All right, mate. No worries. See you later, Fred. Oh, I love chatting with Fred because he knows so much. You know what I mean? Thank you, Gary. Thanks for pushing it. I don't even know if I've had any more paint. Don't think so. Let me put some paint on this palm tree. Oh, sorry, guys. This is my brother. I'm just going to have to mute the feed, yeah? Sorry, guys. Bit of family admin. So that's done. Yeah. Don't think there's any more PayPals. I haven't seen anything pop up or anything like that. Let me just quickly check. This one was Tim, wasn't it? Come on. Activity. Yeah, Tim. So we're good. I've not missed anyone. Someone's greeting it. There's all the links to the terrainiacs group in the description. Yeah, the terrainiacs group is an awesome group. Yeah, absolutely awesome. It's like a support group for us terrain builders, and we all help each other out. Quite small plumage for a tree like that. My first time seeing a live feed. I took today off from work and never seen Fred. In a way, this is cool. Fred's wonderful, to be truthful. Yeah, Fred's one of those people. Yeah, the knowledge and that sort of stuff he's got is great, but he's just one of these. I won't say characters, Yeah, because that's the wrong term for Fred. But he's got a teaching style much like me. He's very supportive, very reassuring, and he likes the technical side of things like me. I mean, you guys know I'm always trying to figure the actual things out. Yeah, and so Fred's a bit like that as well. You should see his library. His library is amazing, full of like technical art books and art books about this and that and the other. Yeah, his house, yeah, takes you half an hour, yeah, to go for a pee in his house. Not because it's a big house and the toilet is miles away, but because he uses the stairs as like a gallery for all the pieces he hasn't sold yet. Yeah, and so literally, the entire stairway is beautiful artwork all the way up. And it takes you about 15 minutes to get to the top of the stairs looking at all the artwork. Then 15 minutes to look at the artwork on the other side coming down. Any plans to do kill team terrain, 2x2 board? Quite possibly, quite possibly. I'm quite intrigued by kill team and this stuff. I like 40k. I can't engage in the full game at the minute. Time, money, all those sort of things. But definitely interested in the kill team sort of stuff. Really, we need to cover that when we do some sort of trash terrain video, don't we? You know what I mean? I want to get a bit more paint out of this. Could do with a brew. I think I'll have a brew. Then I'll mix up some more paint. We'll crack on, get the rest of those done. Hey, Marcus. Right, let me get myself a quick brew. I've got a Subway there as well I should eat, but I'm going to take that home with me. Any more questions for me while I'm having a brew? Oh. Or have we all gone quiet? I've got to get these these palm trees done. It's your video on Tuesday. Just check if Kez is all right. She's at work, okay. Check what the weather's like. Not current location. Says it's raining at midnight. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a hot brew. I've just put some barbed wire like mesh. Nice. My girlfriend knitted me some. It's quite fun. Tell us about hot glue copies in silicon molds. I've heard you can do that. I've never actually done it. Any tips for basing Imperial Knights? Never even played with one. Mal, have you ever bought terrain miniatures models on eBay and garage sales and redone them? I've never done it, to be truthful. I've never done eBay purchases and retard. Actually, we did bought some orc stuff, some tanks for Corbin to like customize. Yeah, but other than that, no, I haven't, mate. I get a lot of my inspiration from Pinterest and video games. I don't use Pinterest, but definitely video games. I've been meaning to go through Witcher 3 and take a ton of screenshots. I'm playing through Kingdom Come at the minute. Is it Kingdom Come Deliverance? I think it's Kingdom Come Deliverance, but that's a really good game for medieval stuff. Oh, that's better. Let's give this a mix. Maybe a little bit heavy on the drab green there. We'll see how it mixes out. Just died, having to watch my phone. Oh, ha. Kingdom Come is great. I was playing that on my PS4. Yeah, it is hard starting out. It is. I'm building a rotorized terrain display table. Motorized. That's cool. Guild Wars 2 myself. Not played Guild Wars. I don't play many video games. I like my little World of Tanks. And I've just got into Kingdom Come. The only thing that got me into Kingdom Come was literally the terrain. It was like, I am having some of that. Look at all the ideas I can get from that. Palm trees as far as the eye can see. Now, one thing I did want to have a chat with you about, just while Fred isn't here, yeah, is Fred's going in for an operation soon on his painting wrist. You know, he's got a bit of arthritis, bone spurs or something that so he's got to have an operation, which means he isn't going to be able to paint for quite a few months. So what I was thinking was perhaps do some videos with him, yeah, and I'll share my patronage with him. You know what I mean? And what you call it, and get Fred to talk us through the colours for various things. Yeah, like stone walls and, the colour of ground and the colour of trees and bark and all these sort of things, because Fred knows them inside out. Yeah, and then I'll apply them and we'll do a series of videos. Yeah, and so what do you reckon? Is that something you'd watch? I mean, if Fred's involved, I could genuinely feel like putting masterclass in the title. Yeah, because Fred is a master. Yeah. So what do you reckon? Is that something you'd be up for? Like, I imagine what we'd like to do is film it as a series, yeah, and then release it every Saturday. Yeah, so every Saturday you would have a new what part of the series. What we do is we film, say, 6 episodes per series. Yeah, so you'd know for the next 6 Saturdays, every Saturday you're going to get a Mel and Fred video. We wouldn't release it until we'd actually filmed them all, so I can be 100% sure that you're going to be able to follow the series all the way through. And we could do like European, and then we could get Fred talk about you, because Fred's lived pretty much all over the world and he's painted all over the world. So I mean, he can tell you the difference between like the Moroccan desert and Italian you know, the Moroccan sort of dry ground and Italian dry ground. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll have the colour theory with him, yeah, as I take those colours and apply them onto a 3D piece, and then I'll modify his basic colour theory for 3D technique, i.e., you know, highlighting, dry brushing, washing, and that sort of stuff. Because obviously what Fred does is he lays it down onto a canvas, so what colour he uses is what you see, whereas we manipulate it more. So I'll need to slightly translate Fred's information like we normally do into something you guys can use. But that'll be it. You know, we'll start off, we'll talk about the colours, the paints, we'll show you some mixing, what you should be looking for, and then I'll take the colours that we come up with Fred, and then I'll apply them while Fred's sitting next to me onto an actual piece, and Fred can give me the little details like, well, you know, you throw this in there and do that there and all this sort of stuff. Painting Desert, love it. The Terrain Painter's Cookbook. The Terrain Painter's Cookbook. I'll tell you what, guys, in all honesty, yeah, I lucked out. I really lucked out, yeah, meeting Fred. I mean, there's a lot of artists in here, and there's a lot of artists in here who do stuff which, you know, carries across to what we do. You know what I mean? It could be helpful. But coming across someone who spent their entire life landscape painting as a terrainiac. Fred, what's the colour of the med? Put a bit of this in it. Cheers! It's great. Fred's single-handedly increasing the level of realism of my work, and I mean that. Yeah, he's got me onto. He keeps teaching me things. Yeah, without me realising it. Yeah, you'll drop sort of things. I'll end up looking into them, and it'll be like, ah, or you're like, here, have a read of this. I'll walk away, and it's like, that's really good information. Well, that'll be the wife. Awooga, awooga, it's the wife. Yeah, love him. Eve Mal, new watcher here. Love your videos. What dark brown emulsion are you currently using for base coating scenery? I'm using Java Bean from Wilco's, mate, with a bit of grey in it. Have I got a tin? "102 Java Bean Matte Wilco's Statement Range." Yeah, put a little bit of grey in. It's quite vivid. Yeah, so a little bit of dark grey in just breaks it down. Best thing to do, yeah, is take about 4 spoonfuls, yeah, big spoons, out of a litre tub. Yeah, then just top it up with grey and just mix it straight into your mix. And I'll desaturate it lovely. I'll check Kez's text in a second. What do you do for a living? I paint palm trees. Hey Mel, congrats to Kez again. Also, you look like a mafia boss in that suit. Suit's a little bit big for me, to be truthful. I've lost a bit too much weight since I had that suit. I need to put a bit of weight on. That's the black dog for you. Black dog, then hot summer weather. It's amazing. Yeah, I can lose weight like that. Putting it on is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare for me. Let's see what Kez's saying. Okay, I thought a text there, but who did I message that to then? Ah, this is WhatsApp, no wonder. Right. I'm looking at WhatsApp going, where's the message I sent Kez? I've messaged her on text. So you've jinxed it, Kez. It's just updated. The black dog makes me eat more, not less. Ah, what you call it? It's weird. It affects people differently, doesn't it? With me, it makes me want to eat less. I hermit. And on that, remind me before I go home, make sure I take my Subway with me because I've got to eat. Get this one done. So did everyone like the trench video? I know your chances are you've seen that stuff before. I mean, yeah, genuinely you've seen it before because I've done it before. It's a re-edit. But was it useful for people? Or did I completely just waste my time? With the footman. Do you ever get round to playing bolt action? I do occasionally, mate. I do occasionally. Not as much as I'd like to, and once my terrain set's done and in the studio where my models are, hopefully I'll be playing a lot more of it. That laptop sounds like it's about to take off. I think it may have been discontinued. I'd have to have a look at what their range is then, mate. But all you want is a really dark brown, and then just throw a bit of what you called it, bit of grey in it, and that'll do you for most base colours, to be truthful. That's all those done. On to the next row. Yeah. Bit of me brew. And she's the big boss. Mel's loved the change video and the scale video. That led to me going to Patreon stuff. Thank you, Tim. It is appreciated, buddy. Sure she hasn't texted anything else. long will you be travelling by, Mel? Eh? What? What am I getting involved in now? I never know what's going on or what I'm getting involved in. Right. Mel, I saw you do the undersized top of the palms. Missed how you do the front. Quick recap. Spray with with a drab green, army painter green from army painter. And then all I'm doing is just layering on a bit of light brown with a bit of drab green mixed in on the bottom leaves. I'm going to put some drab green with a little yellow mixed in on the top leaves, and that's pretty much it, mate. I mean, the video will be out on Tuesday where you can actually see it probably. That's kicked it up a notch. Thanks, buddy. Brush on, brush off. A little on that. A little on those. No more than that. One over. Was there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, let's do this. It's getting warm in here. Even though it's a cool night, it is getting warm. I'm on speed up mode now. Remember when we were talking earlier about when you get comfortable with something, just bang it out? I don't want Fred to come up saying, right, you know, it's home time, and I haven't finished them. I mean, I'm planning on coming back in tomorrow and and doing some more. But I've got some other work to do tomorrow as well. I've got, a bit on the medieval series to do and a bit on the Stalingrad board to do. Fine. 10 to go. Rush, rush, shopping with the wife. Right. Keep going. We'll do it. Easy. I hope. Well, I've got 10 to do, haven't I? If each one takes less than a minute, I should be able to do them in 10 minutes. That's the theory, isn't it? Let's see if we can refine my painting technique now I'm understanding what I'm doing. So if we come down with the bulk of the paint at the most and do the heaviest weathering. And instead of doing each leaf individually, we then move on and blend it from there with less paint on. Seems to be working. Catch the top ones a little. And I'm happy with those results. Mel, will you be focused on the Burma build for a while, or will you be switching back to more European terrain like the standalone stones? Bit of both. The Burma build will be what you see on the live shows, okay? Because it's a nice big project that I can potter along, and it doesn't matter if I screw it up because it's my terrain build, you know, and it's not a tutorial piece as such. Yeah, although I'm doing videos, content-wise, it's my hope you should get on average, yeah, at least one Burma build video a month. Yeah, so over the month, I work on another stage of my project. Yeah, and then at some point in the next month, you get a video on that. Yeah, we will be going back to the more European stuff. It's just that I'm filming all those, and until they're all ready to go, they're just sitting, waiting. Yeah, so we are going back to that. We've also got the resin stuff to go back to. We've got the corking to go back to. I want to get back to doing trees and that sort of stuff. So there's a lot to cover, in all honesty. A lot. So we've done a lot of subjects, you know. I'm getting to the stage where, you know, the flocking and the greening and all the basing and that sort of stuff, we've pretty much nailed that now. You know, it's going to be a long time before I do another video on flocking. Yeah, because I can't see my technique improving drastically anytime soon. Yeah, so it's time to move on and do other stuff. So there's plenty of other stuff in the works, but the Burma build, you'll see a lot live because it's the project I want to work on live. Yeah, but video-wise, it'll only be one video a month, just to keep you up to speed with what I'm doing with it more than anything. Any other questions? Can't wait for some more Burma vids, Mal. I'm working on my diorama, keep changing my mind on the layout. Costing me a fortune in high density foam. We've all been there, dude. I do that with commissions all the time. Oh, we'll just change this. Ba, 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 ba. See, I'm slowing down because I'm getting too particular again. Slap it on, Bo Skull, slap it on. I'm working on some major sequence so far. Really helpful for basing my models. Nice one. I'm working on some war elephants and now books for goblins. Very nice. I see you later, pagan. 2, 3. Who's messaging me? Is this Kaz? Get these on. We have to mix some more paint up in a second. 3 million palm trees. I will master palm trees. I will. Swear to God, I will. Alright. I'll get away with one more before we need to mix up some more paint. Just finished most metal parts on 14th Orc Storm Boys, so I'm done for today. Painting bolt gun metal on metal miniatures feels so wrong. Oh, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean on that one. That one's done. Right, 5 more to go. Let me quickly message Kez, let her know that. Question, would plastic army soldiers suit 1/35 diorama size? How would you paint them up? I don't know if they'd suit it. You'd have to measure them up, mate. I've got 44 zombies on my desk. I keep putting off working on those. But I've got to get them done so I can actually play my undead. Crawley's asking, we back on palm trees? Yes, we're back on palm trees, mate. Kez, no. Oh, I'm getting home. Right. So we have how many? There's that one, that one. We've got 5 more to do. What did Fred say? Probably about somewhere between 9:30 and 10. That should be enough brown for it. That's not green in it. Well, actually looks like, oh, that was done previously. The good thing about mixing up fresh paint, of course, is when you're close to the end of a project, is you're immediately in that situation of, right, I can just slap it on. I don't need to go easy with this because I've got plenty to use. So, with that in mind, let's get it on. I would try different base coat spray paint acrylics on 1 minute to make sure it sticks. Yeah, the plastic on plastic army soldiers can be a bit funny. It's a bit like these, to be truthful. Not the best of plastics for repainting. Also, you got to be careful because I mean, with some PVCs, if you spray them with spray paint, it can reactivate the PVC and make them all sticky. It just messes them up. So definitely test. Definitely test. One of those. I'll get on those edges. And my war giant for my orcs. I got a copy of Zombicide Black Plague, so I feel you're playing. Zombicide is really good fun. I like Zombicide. I haven't played Kings of War yet. I do like the idea of the multi-basing thing with Kings of War, and it's not the actual models, it's the base size. That's smart. Right, on to the last three. Tons of paint to spare. Always the way. After palm trees, what's the next build for Burma? More palm trees. Actually, what do you call it? Probably terrain bases, to be truthful. I need a board to play on, so it'll be along those lines, I'm guessing. Bet you'll be happy to finish with palm trees, Mal. How many is that now? I think there's about 50 here. But, you know, I've got more on the way. I'm going to keep ordering more. I'll get over my palm tree thing by the time I finish, that's for sure. Now, question, will there be any jungle ruins on your Burma build? Yeah, possibly. I know they're on the list, but I haven't looked into them any more than that. You know what I mean? So once we actually start rolling with it, I'll go get some reference pictures of what sort of ruins I want to do, and then we'll build it up from there. But at the minute, I'm still very much, let's get some playable, really nice scatter on the table. Is this the last one? It is. Ooh. There's no point mixing up anything else for any other stages just yet. Because we're just not in that position yet. We'll never get it done before we're finished, so let's leave off. I don't even know why I'm painting underneath the leaves. It's not even like you can see them. Same with the little, like the coconut bits that I've done on them. You can't actually see them. So why I've done them, I don't know. I just have. And I might as well use this, what little bit of paint I've got on this brush, on this palette. Might as well get this on, eh? Right, next video for you guys is going to be Tuesday, which will be the Burma build, to be perfectly honest. Or it should be. Otherwise, I'll have to throw one of the medieval ones out, but I don't really want to do that just yet. Yeah, live show. There should be a live show Sunday night. Kez is working, so I'll be at home. See you later, Max. I'm in Spain at the minute. Last days of your vacation. Enjoy it, dude. Mel, have you tried terraformers, the laser cut terrain tiles with magnets? I've seen them, and I've seen a few different, but I'm having my own made for my Burma build. I mean, I've got Kai downstairs laser cutting, and he's designing the boxes for me. Well, jet lag just woke me up in time to catch a bit of your show. Good to see that there's still paper palm tree in the background. Yeah, Ben, tell Laura it's still there. All right, it. Keep going. Any more for any more? There's some there. Might as well use the paint. What's the best water effect product? Oh, it depends on what you're trying to do. how deep you're trying to pour, what you're used to working with. It's not an easy question to answer, in all honesty, mate. I hope the pics on Facebook helped. They did, mate. Always liking palm tree pics. And I'm sure you lot do like sending them to me. Like I say, I don't actually know why I'm doing this, because no one can see the underside anyway. But I've got the paint, so I might as well use it. Who, man? You got Doctor Who now, Dr. Kez. No, it'll be what you call it, water effects for the game table. I'd probably go with resin over acrylic then. It's more hard wearing. Yeah, so you want probably something like a polyurethane resin. I use glass cast from Easy Composites, but there's plenty of different ones about. Dr. Kez. Dr. Kez, maybe in a few more years she'll go for a doctor. She's talked about it, but right now, you know, she knows that she really needs to work and bring in some money. So, doctorate in the future, I think. Then she'll have a doctor. Then it'll be Dr. Kez. I have polyurethane, and it's not cloudy. It shouldn't be polyurethane. I could send you some pics of some lovely coconuts if you like. You can keep your coconuts to yourself, Matt. Thank you very much. I don't want to see another picture of another man's coconuts. Simple as. Keep your coconuts to yourself. When it comes to polyurethane should be clear, but generally they have a pour depth you can pour them to. So it really depends on how deep you want to pour your pieces. I think that is us spent. Oh, God, don't I look tall like this? Oh, my legs are stiff. Right. Quick show and tell. Yeah, so you can see the browning on them. They're coming together nice enough. Yeah, so back in tomorrow. We'll get the last sort of touches done on these. There's actually not that much. There's probably only another hour of painting. Get them varnished. And then it is time to get them actually based. Yeah, and hopefully I can finish that video. So you guys will have it on Tuesday. Right, guys, been a bit of a quiet one tonight. Listen, I want to thank my one channel hero, yeah, Tim H tonight. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. My English actually passed a teaching degree. Nice one, Gary. Give her congratulations. Yeah. Right, I am going to call it now because I'm going to go wander find Fredicus and get my lift home. Listen, guys, I will see you Sunday night for the Sunday Nighter and video on Tuesday. In the meantime, guys, I'll catch you soon, yeah? All the best. Ta-da. I've got to figure out how to switch. You'd think I'd know how to switch this off by now, wouldn't you? Later, folks. Ta-da.